Everyone, Temporal here, and for this session we are going to be doing a bronze, I believe it's about 750 SR, so pretty far down there, review of a support player. I believe we're looking at Mercy and Ana. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do feel free to like and subscribe. That really helps me out. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below. And down there, you'll be able to see what my rates are. You'll be able to see when I'm streaming. You'll be able to connect with other people that are into Overwatch, getting coaching, looking for coaching, all that good stuff. Or even participate in the Recruit a Friend special going on right now. So let's see what we've got. So we don't really want to be damage boosting our Ana there. She's not our great damage boost target. Unless, you know, she's being dove or something. Boosting the Orisa is okay. Better than boosting the Ana. So again, I don't really want you damage boosting Ana. Not going to get much value there. The Orisa is okay. Zarya, when she's got a little energy, is okay. Even Genji would be better than Ana here. You can be damage boosting that Zarya. That Zarya is missing a little bit of health, but honestly, help her melt the D.Va. That's going to be worth more. This Orisa is full, so yep, toggle over to damage boost. This Orisa is full and has a nade on it. Yeah, good. Toggle over to the damage boost. So he's saying that he needs healing, so that's a line that you do want to listen for. You can keep your beam on this Zarya while you look around. You don't have to look at Zarya to keep your beam on her, and I could tell directionally from the noise that my Genji was up over here, so that's something that you potentially wanted to look at. Where did our Genji actually get to? Yeah, right up above your head. So that's something you wanted to take a quick look for and see, hey, can I find this Genji? And again, you don't have to drop your beam from Zarya while you're doing that. You don't have to go out from cover while you're doing that. You can see your allies through walls, so make sure to do that. Your Genji is still not doing anything because he's still waiting to be healed. So he's losing uptime here because you're not healing him. There you go. Again, I want you to listen for those I need healing sounds. That's someone pressing their I need healing button, default X, I believe. And that is something where you don't immediately have to stop everything you're doing, but you should at least check to see where they are the overwhelming majority of the time to see, do I want to go in? Is that person in a place where I can reasonably heal them? Is healing them more important than what I'm currently doing? And at this moment, yes, your Zarya is in way less danger than your Ana is. And you could potentially heal your Ana from here. You could potentially transition up to here and heal your Ana. There's things you could do. You could try and go to your Ana and super jump up here and heal her and then drift back down and hide. Like, there's a lot of things you could do to help your Ana without putting yourself in too much danger that are better than what you're doing. Yep, good. And now toggle over. Yeah, so it's not about getting everyone to full health. It's about getting everyone out of danger sometimes. So like getting someone that you're on, especially a tank that's at 3/4 health to full health, isn't as important as getting a DPS or a support who's at 50% health or 25% health up over 50, you know, maybe up to 60% health, etc. You also heal them up and get them back to full a lot faster. So if your tank isn't really in danger, it's definitely worth it to go, hey, let me go ahead and get this DPS up, to get this support up, get this squishy up. I can do that faster. Don't need to be healing. Damage boost is fine. That you can heal and you can toggle over to your Zarya. Yeah. So you stayed on your Orisa a little longer than I'd like there, but you did stop before healing her to full to swap over to your Zarya, who was in some danger. So get this Zarya up to like 50-60% and then swap back to your Orisa because your Orisa is further forward, closer to the enemy, and then will be in more danger again. Actually, you could go to the Genji after you get your Zarya up to like 60% and then back to the Orisa, but you get the idea. Okay, now you want to be transitioning back up to your Orisa. Heals, not damage boost there. Yep. Okay. You guys used 2 ults in 1, and that's great. So now you could potentially look to the second another 6v6 starts and really is committed to, you could be looking to win that with Valk. I'm glad you didn't Valk into that one. Your team already used Graven. Your team already used Graven Blade, and that was plenty. See if you can win this next one with Valkyrie. Again, I don't really want you damage boosting your Ana. Maybe that was your Genji just standing there. But, you know, your McCree is your best damage boost target right now. Your Orisa is probably your second best, and McCree's in a place where it's relatively safe. So you could just glide over to him, stand with the wall between you and the opponent's boost, and then still be able to glide over here if you need to transition. Again, not your Ana. You want to pay attention to your Ana to be able to heal for her with heals if she gets in trouble. So, too late. I did want you to Valk in this fight, it's true, but if you look at how this fight played out, the opponents aren't in the fight yet. Are the opponents in the fight yet? Sort of. This would be a little early to Valk, but it wouldn't be terrible, but let's just watch how this plays out. Okay. Now if you Valked, your team could push and just get these two eliminated pretty easy. These two won't be able to get out. Like, D.Va might be able to boost her out, but probably not at that health, and I don't think she has it. And Rein definitely isn't getting out. If your team just hard commits on this, and you can signal a hard commit for your team, you could say it on comms, but if you're not comfortable with that, even Valking right here. You could Valk, it would be a touch early, but that Rein definitely wouldn't get out, and then if you get that Rein, your team is going to be up here with their Valk going, you're going to get this point. Like, you're going to be up 2 people if you do that Valk because you got the Lucio. And I'm still okay with that because you'd be closing out the point here. You're only up 1. You're not up by like 2 or anything like that. You're not massively ahead. You're just a little ahead of this team. So a Valk here, totally reasonable. You will get the Reinhardt if you Valk, and you'll probably get the D.Va too. And then you've got the point. You clean up the fight. It's great. Instead, that tire comes out. So that tire gets used almost at the moment I said, hey, this is the decisive moment to do an ult. And he unfortunately found that decisive moment, and you didn't. Oh, it's that. So when he finds that, he gets a pretty meaningful elimination there. You could potentially res that, but you now need to decide, hey, am I keeping this up? Am I keeping this up? What are we doing? So you generally don't want to res someone if taking the moment to res them is going to cause you to lose someone else. And it was likely that that was going to be the case there. Good. And you get this out. Okay. So your Valk was a touch later than I liked, and I didn't love the res. But overall, this was right. You used the fight Valk in the right fight, and you used it at a reasonable time. I just would have liked it about a second earlier. So good stuff. You can damage boost. Urvis is fine. Again, damage boosting your Moira isn't going to help her very often, unless she's actively dueling and at full health. More often, if you're dealing with your other support, unless it's a Zen or maybe a BAP, you're going to be healing them rather than boosting them. That's not a strict rule, but you can use that for now. So if you don't need to be healing them, there's no one on them, etc., you're better off finding someone else to boost. I think this still caps at a 70% boost. I don't think you get the full 80, but a 70% boost is still pretty great. No, you can't do that res. You can't do that res. You're risking your own life here. That res is totally up in the air as to whether you're getting it or not, and it's totally up in the air as to whether you're going to survive or not. Looks like that works this time. I promise you don't want to go for that res unless your team has better control than it did of the space. Okay, you guys are going to get pushed back. They're ulting hard enough. Okay, so you're going to hit a Valk. I don't actually love this. I think you guys have lost this fight, to be perfectly honest. I'd rather you guys wipe, and you then let your team repush in as 6 with your Valk. Because you see, you have a Valk right now. She doesn't. It's going to be hard. They don't have a sound barrier either. So if you just, I'll jump off the cliff, or if you just let these guys sort of go down, etc., then you come back as 6 and you use their Valk, the only ults they're going to have are Earthshatter and Tire. You don't know that. I don't expect you to be doing real ult tracking, but you probably do know you just saw Beat get used, and you might remember that, hey, they used Valk pretty recently as well, so they don't have a support ult. And you can just have that be your mini version of ult tracking to go, hey, if I Valk into a 6v6, they can't mirror it with their own. That probably means it's a pretty good idea, and it is. But that's okay. Yeah, unfortunately, when you Valken like this, you're Valking into uneven numbers, and while Valk is an advantage, it's not enough to overcome you guys being down 2 players.
Damage amplified. Healing stream.
Okay, maybe.
Surrender to my will. Damage
Do be aware of what's going on to your left. Like, it might make sense to turn left and target your Moira for a moment or so to damage boost her, etc. I'm glad that you didn't go super deep to try to damage boost her when she was alone over here, because that was way too risky to your own life. But, you know, you could turn now and check on her.
Let me get you patched up. Fire at will.
Boost Chuzaria, boost Chuzaria. McCree's great. Boost McCree. Heal it, heal it. Yep.
Thin down.
Who's the vulture now? Okay, so not a big deal. Definitely some questionable reses we saw there. Some of them worked. That you can't expect them to as you get into higher level games, and the intent is to play better so that when you're in higher level games you don't immediately hit a wall and have to, you know, retrain a bunch of bad habits. But the real difference maker there was likely to be, hey, you could have used your Valk a bit better. You could have been like, hey, I want a fresh fight for this Valk, or I want an even fight for this Valk. I don't want to try to Valk to get back into a fight we're losing. I want a Valk in an even or better fight to push us ahead or to close it out. That's how you want to use your Valkyrie, is Mercy. And now we're playing Ana, and that's fine. Let's see some Ana.
You might be fast, Genji, but you ain't faster than a bullet. Why don't we find out?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Oh, it so hurts. It so hurts. McCree has no business being up there. But that's... We'll deal. We'll deal. You don't want to take that sniper war. Yep. Change the angle. Good.
Take your medicine.
Go left for the health pack. There's a health pack in the left room, and that'll let you not have to use your nades. So you can use it like that, which is nice. But go get the health pack. Please go get the health pack. Okay, heal. Good.
Get back in the fight.
Helden sterben nicht.
Fire at will.
It's not bad. Okay, you're taking too much pressure, and now you have to leave, and part of why you have to leave is because you didn't go get that health pack when we wanted you to. So now you're lower health than you would be, and now you're going to have to go find a health pack kind of while the fight's going on. Like, you had a window where you could pretty cleanly just go, hey, I'm healing, I'm transitioning my way up, I scoot in here, get the health pack, and you see how little time you'd have had to break line of sight from healing your team if you'd gone for this health pack earlier. And then you could transition back here if you want, you could transition up here, you could, you know, I mean, you could transition here if you want. That's more aggressive, a little easier nades, etc. But definitely more dangerous, more likely to take spam, etc. I actually thought this was a reasonable place for you to be playing from. I just would have liked you to get the health pack earlier. Now you have to go. No. The other health pack that you could go get, because you do have to get one, is down here. You can't just sit here. You have to either... Oh boy. You can also press that X button to ask your Moira to heal you. She's probably not going to with where she is, but that X button that your Genji was using earlier, that someone else was using, that means, hey, you should look around and go try to find them while continuing to hold your beam on whoever you're doing until you find them. You have that button too. No, you can't open this angle. You can keep this angle closed and heal what teammates you can see over here, but you do not have enough health to open this angle. If you don't have health like this, you have to keep the angle closed, meaning you get to do no offensive contribution, but you can still see some of your team and you can heal them from here if you have to. Good. Not bad.
You're going to live.
It's a long time to be transitioning when your team is sort of fighting. When I say transitioning, I'm saying you've broken line of sight on them for a pretty long rotation while your team is fighting. Okay. Good. Just break line of sight. Yep. Okay, you're under fire. Go get the health pack. Good.
Heal down.
You could go here. That's fine. I don't mind this. I'd actually have preferred you heal from here if you saw this area was doing it. Take your 2 shots so that you're then faster to transition to doing your work from here. Because now you're going to sort of have to go up to here. That's not as good. The cart's in the way. The enemy team is sort of going to be shooting in your direction if they're shooting in your team's direction. Over here, the enemy, if they're shooting at your team, aren't really shooting at you. But you can see your team still have a little bit of a cart issue. And you can see some enemies to shoot at. So this would be nice. Yeah. Adam's got my line. Hey, Adam.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Well, one of my lines. Okay, so you hit the Nano Blade. Cool. So you do want to spread a little for this tire. You can be moving away as you heal your Zarya here. You just want to make sure that you're in a separate place so that you can't both get hit by the same tire. For those of you that are saying, no, you should group up and shoot at the tire. This is a 750 SR game. You are wrong.
Go. I'll keep you healed. This is going to hurt.
So again, I'd really prefer that you were playing from like over here. You still have pretty good influence into the fight, but spam that is meant to be shot at your Reinhardt, at your Zarya, doesn't hit you. Whereas here, it can hit you. If you're over here, they have to pretty actively push up and turn and shoot at you, and if they're doing that, they're getting shot in the side of the face by Zarya. They're getting melted. They're getting swung into by Reinhardt, etc. Whereas like this, they can be shooting at your Reinhardt shield, and then if he splits it down to swing, you take spam damage that was meant for him, etc.
Do something.
Lights out.
60 seconds remaining.
Right idea conceptually to say, hey, I need to throw my nade into a Transcendence to get a purple off. Because that's the only way your team can get eliminations, really. Some of these are probably scope shots. Some of these are probably scope shots where you right-click, then left-click. These are a little hard to hit. You've got a pretty narrow window. The targets are relatively far away. You're probably going to want to go ahead and scope a bit there. I don't think I've seen you do much scoping yet either. So let's make sure that's in your list of things that you're comfortable doing. Good. Don't shoot him. Don't shoot him. So you actually did your job by sleeping the Bastion, and now you go back to contributing over here. You heal allies that are over there. You pelt the Rhine in the back, and the Rhine can't turn to shield you because he's got someone that he's fighting over there. Or you just go, hey, I've lost too much of my team. It's time to leave. Those are what you do in these situations. And again, as you were leaving, you could have darted in here for a quick health pack. You're going to need some more health pack awareness, as Anna.
10 seconds
Go all the way out.
remaining.
Don't stand here. You don't want to fight these guys 2v6 or whatever. You have plenty of time. You can go out here and wait until you've got more of your team, and then push out as 5, push out as 6, etc. Ideally as 6, but I'm going to accept that your team isn't always going to group properly. Because right now you're pushing out as 3, and you're the one in the most danger in the most obvious place. Like, well, now you're a little better, but you don't want to be taking this fight early. You don't want to be fighting them like that. See, yeah, most dangerous place.
Overtime.
This is junk time. I don't think I care. Still junk time. Okay. Long survival for junk time, but okay. So let's just go to somewhere so that my end screen isn't Team 1 wins. That's fine. Oh,
Keep your head and let's take this.
one more. Okay. So, you know, it's a loss, and that's a shame. But when we're looking at this, the things we want to do to improve is on Ana, I want you to have more health pack awareness. You're doing a good job of not just instantly nading yourself when you take damage, and a lot of Anas make that mistake, so good on you for not making that. But I do need you to have more health pack awareness. When you're missing some health, you can go over here to get this health pack. If you're retreating anyways, you can go over here to get this health pack, etc. Because you're just existing missing health for a long time there. Or if there's a teammate near you or someone else who's not Moira who can easily heal you, like a Zen who can throw a Harmony Orb or something, feel free to press that X button every once in a while when you're missing health to see if they'll throw you a little help, etc. It's way better than you using your nade, which you're not doing, so that's good. But I don't want you to just exist at half health or less for, 10, 20, 30 seconds either. I want you to work your way over to a health pack, grab it, then work your way back to the positioning you want and all that good stuff. As for your Mercy play, we could talk about Valk. Valk is probably what I want to talk about, where I want you using Valk in situations where the team fight has started and it's even or better for your side. So, like, it's 6v6, 5v5, or maybe when it's like a 6v5 or a 5v4 type situation. If it gets more reduced than that, you really don't need it. So those are when I want you to do it. And I know you didn't really get punished for going for bad reses, but I promise some of those reses just aren't okay. You can't go for this res, and it will haunt you if you develop the habit of going for this res where you're surrounded by 3 enemy players and your team is back here. I promise that your team needs to own a little bit more of the space. You can go for a res that, like, hey, there's one person who maybe could shoot at me, but I've got a teammate nearby too, or I sort of have cover for this res. You can go for, like, wobbler reses, and learning when to do those is sort of, one of the differentiators of better and worse mercies, but this is just not a res that you can go for. That's just the one I remember. I think there was another rough one too. So those are the 3 things I'm going to say. 1 thing for Ana, 2 things for Mercy. It's a little more than I generally like to give to a player, and I don't want you to work on all of them at once. I want you to go, hey, I want to work on when I hit my Valkyries on Mercy, or I want to work on making sure I go get health packs when I'm missing health on Ana, and I want you to know that when you pick the hero, and I want that to be something that you really think of and make this is something that is occupying 10% of my brain space, 15% of my brain space. Even if it's causing me to play worse overall, I'm getting better at this, and eventually it will become part of your autopilot. It'll become part of how you actually normally play, and then you can work on the next thing that I told you, or you can go back to focusing on playing, and you'll be playing better at a higher level because you're doing this other thing better automatically, even if you lose an extra game or 2 or 3 on the way, etc. And because you are using some of your brain power over on making sure you are doing this thing for 2, 3, 5, 10, 15, however many games it takes you to really get it to be internalized as part of what you do there. So I hope that helps. Anyways, if people are enjoying the content, please do feel free to like and subscribe. That definitely helps me out. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord. The link is in the description below. And from there, you can see what my rates look like for coaching. You can see other people that are getting coaching, see what I'm streaming, or you can participate in the Recruiter Friend special going on. 25% off a coaching session for you and a friend if you both sign up for some coaching there. Do I see anything else from chat? I do not. I will be going live for another session in probably 5 minutes or less, guys. So if you want to hang around, I'll see you again soon. If not, it'll be up. You guys can find the VOD. Thanks, guys. Temporal out.